So I'm having a catch up with Fort Hope. How are you guys?
Doing great,
Hi,
thank you.
yeah,
Really happy.
really well.
Good. Great to hear. So we've been busy playing some new music of yours. Latest single of yours we've been playing is Sandbags. Tell us a little bit about the single, first of all.
Ooh,
Well,
John,
it
do you want
was
to take that straight off the bat?
yeah, I think the best way to start, it was actually a really cool way that the song came about. Probably um doesn't happen that often with the band actually, but I remember I think it was during I can't- I'm not sure what time it was, but I remember Sai, you were working on some kind of really obscure, weird stuff and
Yes.
like music wise, and you sent me over this thing. And I remember like listening to it all, and then all of a sudden I just heard this riff, and I thought, oh my God, that is nasty. Like it just sounded kind of weird. I couldn't quite pick out what it was or how I would play it. And I think sometimes when you hear that, it's so interesting. Automatically you just thought, right, that's got to be a song. So I remember taking the riff, putting it on piano, and building it from there. So that's how the song started. And then yeah, we just arranged it together, we jammed it out, came up with the chorus, and the rest is history, really.
Nice, nice. And that's coming off your new EP coming out next week called Palaces, Palaces. What can we expect to hear when we get
Yes.
a chance to take a listen?
Well, we've actually got Palaces include Sandbags, and it includes our previous single Powers, which we released last October, I believe. Then there's another new full track which no one's heard yet called Anthem for the Blessed. And that's going to be the third full band track, um, which is a kind of really hopeful and rousing song about self-belief, um, which is kind of a thought hope theme that we have running through our songs.
Mhm.
But we've also got a few acoustic and alternative versions that are included on the EP as per um, our normal thing that we just love to do alternate versions. So yeah, that's what can be expected on the EP. It's 5 tracks. Yeah, we can't wait. It's going to be great.
Good. Nice to hear. Now you're a band more known for releasing EPs than records, with a whole bunch of EPs of yours out there and a record. How does this EP sound in comparison to your previous releases?
I'd say this EP is because we've had time to sort of write the EP in, even though, from what we were saying previously about the actual Sandbags riff, the actual songs themselves were written very close together as one sort of piece. And because we haven't been touring, because we haven't been out there, it's been giving us a lot of time to really focus on a really concise little nugget of music that we can put out there because we love doing EPs. For us, EPs are like the perfect amount of music to give to people. There's a little stamp in time. That's how we are right now. That's how we feel. That's our message to the world. Um, and it's great if you can do 12 songs like that. But to have an EP and just be sort of like, this is where we are, guys. This is our music. This is our message. This is our hope that we're putting out to the world at the moment. Um, that's what we kind of are aiming for with the forthcoming EPs, like especially Palaces. It's a really tight little number. I love it. I love it. We're really proud of it.
Nice, great to hear. And yeah, you mentioned you took a little bit of a break. What made you come back?
The temptation.
Music,
It was
jealousy, jealousy
music
of
and
everyone else
jealousy.
playing music.
Well,
No,
I
it's
think
really
like we've always been like a studio and recording focused band, and we've always loved that and writing together. And whilst we were away, we were doing all of those things. And the kind of turning point for us was when we went on tour with our friends in Lost Alone, and we got to play in front of crowds again. After being stuck inside for 2 years with the pandemic, and we were unleashed into the world again, back on the road. Um, that's all we've ever really known, since being about 15 years old. That's all we've ever done. And I think that little forced break, from being able to do that, just for us, but also I think for a lot of other people, a lot of other musicians, it made them realize, you know, I've got to do everything I can to make sure this is what I do because A, it's all I can do, and B, it's
Yeah.
what I love. So yeah, that was the main thing really. It was just having that electricity coursing through your veins once more. It was like, wow, you never want to give it up when you have that feeling and you're all together. It's the camaraderie of the band, it's playing with other people, it's seeing and meeting new people, and just live music. I mean, what can beat it? Nothing, especially in a
No,
world now that's so digital and so online, and it's an amazing rarity to be able to experience a live gig. So we're just going
I
to
think
continue to do as much as we can to keep playing it.
I think also like it's the right thing for you to do as a person. Um, it's quite a holistic way to look at things. But when you step onto stage and or you step into a recording studio and even just like the tiny nuances of being on stage, like the feeling of the strings under your fingers or the tapping of the guitar pedals or the buzzing of the amps and everything like that, they feel right. And you definitely know it's the right thing for you to do when muscle memory kicks in and you don't even have to think about it. As
Yeah,
soon as a
luckily.
song kicks, you move the same way you've always moved when you played that song. So I think, for us to come back, it's so important for us on a real deep level.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And you touched on being out on the road with Lost Alone. You get to be back out on the road again across the UK from the 5th of March, but you can't wait to be touring again.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's gonna be fun.
So excited. We were really disappointed because they're also on tour at the same time. So we're not going to be able to go see those boys. But yeah, we can't wait to get out on tour. We've got an amazing band coming with us called Queen Cult. It's going to be an amazing sh set of shows. We're kind of going up to Glasgow, to Leeds, to Nottingham, Birmingham, Cardiff, London, Southampton. So yeah, it's tours aren't easy. They're hard work, but you can't complain when you're doing something that you love. It's going to be wonderful. It couldn't come any sooner. We just want it to be tomorrow. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I'd like it to be tomorrow. I'd like to get out on the road, especially on such a beautiful day as today. It'd be a lovely drive up to Glasgow.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, for sure. And then we're into festival season, which is where we've done most of our interviews before the hiatus. You've got Takedown Festival booked in. What's your plan for the summer and doing some shows at festivals?
Yeah, so we got Takedown coming up, which I think is at Guildhall in Portsmouth, but I don't want to. Yeah, I think I'm right
Yeah,
there, which
yeah.
I'm impressed.
I think you are.
I've impressed myself that I've remembered the location because I always seem to say Plymouth by accident, and but yeah, so this summer we're actually focusing on recording for our next EP. And then we're looking to do some more festivals in 2025, which seems like a really long way away at the moment, but that's kind of our long-term plan. We've got a lot of demos that we need to get down, um, because really we're looking to make an album, which would be our third album. So yeah, the studio is where we're going to be at in the summer, which is really hard to beat because it's a lovely location where we record. It's right by the Malvern Hills and it's near water and let's say a few pubs nearby, which never really go, you can't really complain. So yeah, that's going to be our summer plans. Just chilling in the Cotswolds and getting ready to unleash some new music, which we'll be playing at festivals in 2025. So yeah.
Nice. And with this new music that's on the way after this EP, do you know which direction and sound you want to take this new release into, or is that still up for discussion?
Well, we were
Uh,
actually talking about this last week because um yeah, I think we'll definitely continue on the track that we're on. Like Simon was saying, we think the new EP that we're putting out on March 1st is probably the most concise thing we've done in terms of like the sound and the consistency of all the songs. And we really want to continue that forward because we think it's important to show like, a sound that the band has when you come to watch us live, what you're gonna see, what you're gonna hear, what you're gonna see. So it's definitely going to continue on that track. We're trying to avoid the temptation to go more obscure, but we never really manage it, and we always end up going. We start with this mission of like, let's keep it simple, let's make some straight up rock songs, and then inevitably we end up sort of taking ourselves down the garden path, going a little bit mental with it.
Yeah, we find a new instrument that we want to play with, or we, something catches
Exactly.
our ear and it spirals off into a different direction. But that's the we like to follow the thread, go with what feels right at the time. But yeah, the temptation to go completely off piste is always there. But I think as an EP, if one song goes off piste, they all will. It will be concise, like Palaces is.
Mhm. They all
Yeah.
seem to be moving in a slightly more bluesy swing time direction, like to get into the nitty gritty. But that's like what the next batch of songs all seem to have that flavor to it. So they're very much a live rock band setup, but moving away from the more kind of like power based songs that we've got on this one. They're just a little bit more bluesy, I would say.
Nice, nice. And when it comes to the writing side of things, how do tracks normally start off for you guys?
It could be in a variety of different ways, really. Like sometimes they can start on the piano. Um, sometimes and this is what's happened more recently, is they can just come from us messing about when we're supposed to be rehearsing or when we're sound checking. Someone will just, I think I remember with Powers, our single we released last year, that actually started in a rehearsal room when I think Simon, you were sound checking your bass because you had an issue with the
Yeah,
sound and you were just trying to get a sound because there was a pedal kind of malfunctioning or something. And I remember hearing it thinking, shit, that sounds like Black Sabbath or something. I was like, wow. And then our drummer just started playing along. I picked up my guitar, ran over to the stage where we were and just started playing. And that's how that one formed. So they can all start differently, acoustic, piano, or in that way I just mentioned. So that's what keeps them kind of fresh um, and slightly different, which is a good thing, I think.
yeah, and it often comes from things that other people you know, might consider really bloody annoying. Is everyone just playing together, just in a, you know, just like a drummer and a bassist, or a drummer and a guitarist, or someone just playing and playing and playing. But more often than not, like it's just kind of instinct kicks in sometimes, and then John can kind of pick out these little things, and it just happens, and it's a really beautiful process because you end up spending the 6 hours you were supposed to be rehearsing for a tour, writing one song, or not that that's
When
been
you
happening
really
for
need
the
to practice.
yeah,
You just
and you
get
just end up getting
sidetracked.
gripped into a song.
We did
Um,
that last week. So
Actually, we did get locked in. Yep, we did. I was about to say, I was lying when I said it didn't happen this week, but it did. It happened for quite a long time. We were writing a new thing.
Nice, nice. Guys, it's been a pleasure having a catch up with you.
Oh,
Thank you
it's
very
been
much, Jim.
absolutely lovely. Thanks, Jim.